What is one thing you hope your children learned from you?
Oh, I hope that you guys learn to love the gospel, to love the Lord and the Savior, and to just be a good person.
Hi guys, this is my mom, Margaret Sophie Winch. She goes by Peggy, right?
Peggy.
And for this Mother's Day episode, we're gonna talk about what it's like being a mom. So, Mom, what was your favorite thing? What's your favorite thing about currently being a mother?
Currently?
I mean, raising children and now. What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
Okay, so I've been a mom for 40 years now. Our oldest is 40.
7 kids.
7 kids. With a 19-year difference from the youngest to the oldest.
Yeah.
So I've been a mom a long time. And there's a lot I love about being a mom. One of the things I've noticed over the years that I really love about being a mom is I get to know these amazing people. And these amazing people that are our children, each of them completely different from each other. They get along. They like Legos and similar things as each other, but
It's worked out that way.
it just happenstance. I love that these people have seen me at my absolute worst and some of my best, and I can be completely myself around them and feel involved and loved, and I can love them, and they're my kind of like my tribe. But they're just fun, and they've done so many interesting things with their lives, and they were fun to raise. And then as they headed into teen years, it was just like exhausting, but fun to go to their events that they did and meet their friends and feed them and just be allowed to be a part of their life.
I think, and it's cool too because you guys, you always supported us in whatever we were interested in. And so it's got to feel cool when we do succeed in the things that we're passionate about. To be like, hey, I help them get down the path, you know?
And I'm always like, wow, that is so cool.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetheart. It's good to see you.
I'm so glad you get to join us and talk about being a mom because you're an awesome mom.
Oh, thank you.
This is my mom, Lorie Johnson. Her middle name is Gaynell. So we share that in common. She lives in Texas and I live in Utah. And so, Mom, I'm so happy that you're here and you get to chat because I know you're a big fan of the middle.
Yes.
And so right out of the gate, what was the hardest part for you in being a mom?
Well, I never felt like I could meet the needs of all my children, figuring out what they needed. Like I had one that was dyslexic, one was ADHD, 2 of them were gifted, one loved sports, what best suited each of their needs. And I always felt other mothers understood their kids better than me.
And that's probably a good thing to get out of the way you're a mom of a lot of kids. I'm the oldest. And then my sister Meg, that everyone knows, was the next in line. And that was from your first marriage. And then you remarried and you had a baby girl named Bonnie, and she passed on just over the age of 1. And then Amy and Stacy and Ben. So you've had a diversity of children and personalities. And I think that's a pretty universal struggle as a mom to know how to meet the needs of their kids. But I would say just feedback to you, Mom. You're really good at encouraging your kids in whatever they like to do. So even if you were worried that you weren't meeting our needs, I feel like you're the biggest cheerleader. And my sister Stacy's off camera, and I think she would agree with that.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Jacob.
Hey, thanks for doing this. This is my mom, Leslie, everybody, with a Z. And she is a mother of 5 children. I am the oldest, along with my twin brother, Josh. She has worked graveyards for almost 2 decades, right? About 2 decades? Yep. Sad to
almost.
say. Probably not super happy to say that. Oh. Well, and
no.
She's an artist, and she's an art teacher right now. And she also, guys, she's amazing. She's a total like Hall of Famer when it comes to school projects and other projects that she does for her kids. And she was really responsible as well for an amazing childhood that I had growing up. And so, and I can't forget, one of your claims to fame is Donny Osmond sat on your lap, right?
Yep. I'll never forget that.
Anyway, I have a few questions for you, Mom, if that's all right. The first one was, what is or was or is the hardest part about being a mother?
I think the hardest part is when your kids are hurting, not physically, but emotionally, and there's nothing you can do. You just have to watch them go through the process. You can be there for them, but you can't take away the pain. And that's probably the hardest thing for me.
Wow, that's a good answer. I mean, I figured hardest part about being a mother is, you had to have me as a son.
Oh, God. No.
Anyway.
That's all hard too, but you can get through all of that, the craziness of kids, but yeah, because that's going to pass.
Oh, cool. But I do love that answer. Thank you.
Okay, so this is my mom. Her name is Paige, and she is the mother of 4 children. I am her second oldest. She is a dental assistant, which is super cool because I was never afraid of dentists or dentist appointments growing up. So that's super, super nice. And yeah, she's super awesome, as we will find out. So I've just got these 3 questions I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
All right. So first one, what was the hardest part of being a mother?
The hardest part, I would say, is probably just seeing you kids struggle in whatever it is in your life. You, as a mother, you don't want that to happen. You realize it's part of the plan and part of how life is and how you grow, but it's hard for mothers, I think, to go through that.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I can totally get that. It's hard to see anybody struggle, really.
Yeah.
Let
it's
alone
not
your
fun.
children. Yeah.
What was or is one of the hardest things about being a mom?
Okay, just right off the top of my head, I'm going to say never sleeping. It's only been a couple years since our last child flew the coop and went off to college. And I love not waking up really early. I mean, I will
She
if I have
passed that
to.
on to me. I could sleep in so long.
And even if I wake up early, I like just laying there and reading or not even reading, whatever. So, but when you have little kids, when you have babies, one after another, sleep deprivation is a real hard thing. Probably part of the hardest things my children had to deal with was when I'd get crazy with that.
Not crazy, just tired.
Just tired.
We got lucky. The youngest, my little brother and I, because Mom would just be like, you would recognize that you were tired and stuff, and you'd be like, you just go watch a show, go play with Legos, just go have a fun time.
Let's go watch movies. I'm only on the couch. But
So-
when the older kids were younger, and there was 5 of them, doing that meant
And
something.
they don't all want, that was the thing, is Josh and I liked doing the same things.
Yeah.
Having the 5, they don't all want to do the same thing. So it's not that easy to be like, hey, just go have fun. Because they're like,
No, because somebody would have gotten hurt.
For Jacob, having fun is torturing. For Jesse, that's getting tortured. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he didn't torture too much.
What was the happiest part of memory that you can think of as a mom?
Well, I loved watching my kids succeed at school or in their drama. I'd love to go to every play that they were in, or in debate, or their sports. I went to every sports activity. I loved watching them do. And, you and your sister did pigs at the fair. I loved being involved in that. And I went to all the games and just enjoyed seeing them do things, even though some of the things were things I never could do. And even you did stats for the football team. I loved watching you down there be with that. So I just enjoyed watching you succeed.
And Mom was always the loudest one in the stands cheering.
Yeah.
She would always make sure you knew that she was there cheering you on. And I will say you are a mom that is always there, and you have made sure that you could always be there.
Yes, I enjoyed that very much. In fact, the neighborhood kids would invite me to come cheer at their games.
Because you're really good at it.
Yeah.
Mom's superpower is taking care of other people and cheering for other people. I would say that, Mom. That's one of your superpowers.
What is one of your favorite memories or your happiest, memories of being a mom?
Well, I have 5 really happy memories of 5 kids being born. And then every time we brought a new baby, the older kids just loved that new baby so much. And it was just so fun to see. But I think it's not a specific memory, but anytime that we were just doing stuff together as a family, whether it was going to Disneyland or going on hikes, going on trips, we've done a lot of fun things together. And I think those are my funnest memories. Best memories as a mother is just all the fun times that we've spent together.
I figured you'd say that. I mean, I didn't think you would before, but when you started answering that question, I was like, oh, of course she'd say that, because she has major FOMO, and not FOMO really for herself, but for the whole family. So if someone suggests something fun to do, my mom always never wants to do anything fun or cool or exciting unless everyone can be there, which it's a really cool thing. I really like that about you, because if I know that if I'm gone, nothing fun or cool will happen. It benefits me too.
What is your happiest memory of being a mother?
I think the day you guys were born. Absolutely.
Oh, that's
the biggest
awesome.
one. The anticipation of being a mother and carrying this child that grew inside you, and then all of a sudden they're there, and you can't wait to see what that little tiny thing is going to become,
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the day you were born. And I love when we're all together and we're just laughing, just having a good time together.
Oh yeah. We have so much fun together.
Yes.
I
Like
totally
that night
agree.
when we went out to eat, and it was just hilarious. And we were
laughing.
super loud, and the whole restaurant was like, okay, can these people please leave now? But was.
Yeah, I know. We should never go out in public with each other. Like, we are so loud and obnoxious.
But that's great. I love it. I love that we're that way and we have fun together.
That's how we have fun. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, totally.
I was gonna ask, if there's anything you would do differently or something, but maybe that's kind of a really deep question. I don't know if we need to go there.
Well, there's always going to be, any parent, I think, looks back and thinks, oh man, if only I had, what about this? Oh gosh, I didn't react that way. But, Dad and I had never been parents before, and I came from a different background of a different faith. I had learned some bad habits of communicating that I'm still working on, and didn't want to pass those on to my family. So it's always a work in progress, always. There's always more to learn. Even with my kids as adults, I'm learning new ways, how can I best support them when they get married or when they have children, while still being a mother, not being a mother and overtaking things. And
mother. No, I'm just kidding.
What was that second word?
Father.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But when you kids were little, I was always really insecure about whether or not I was being a good enough mom for all these different individuals that were our children. And not feeling like charitably loving my family would come as naturally to me as I'd hoped it would. And watching conference, and one of the brethren said, truly loving your children can make up for a myriad of parenting mistakes. Bing! I had instant hope that if I could work on loving my children and be Christ-like in that love, Heavenly Father would kind of take care of the mistakes we were inevitably going to make.
Right.
Because every parent's going to make a bazillion mistakes.
Yeah.
But there's the way out, is just loving them and figuring out what that means.
Do you feel like it was worth it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, heavens, yes.
All of the crazy, all of the heartache that we've caused.
Yes. I mean, I've shared with you before that growing up, I always knew I wanted to be a mom. There was no question in my mind. I always wanted to be a mom. I loved my family I grew up in. I loved having siblings. It's what I knew I wanted to be, and was told by the world by the mid-70s that no, it's irresponsible to have more than 2 children, and I wanted a big family. I wanted more than 2 children. And it wasn't until I joined the church, and had a testimony of a prophet and was able to hear the words of prophets, modern day prophets, I felt so validated and so happy that the Lord was very pro-family and was going to support me in this.
Okay,
thank you.
what is the one thing you hope? And I don't think it's fair to ask people the one thing, because there's not ever just one thing, but what's one thing you really hope your children learn from you?
Well, that was obvious to all my kids. I wanted them to learn that you should serve others and help others. And I believed real strongly that when you are in the service of your fellow men, you're in the service of your Lord. And we had many, many opportunities to be involved with other people. My husband and I still are. And it's wonderful. I remember your story of taking the towels that you had in your trunk, and giving them to somebody. And it's what I love seeing all my children do.
Well, you are one of the most giving people I know, and Dad is as well. But one thing I would say about you, Mom, is you don't have a limit in that. And so if there's a way for you to do something, you'll do it, but you probably do it beyond what the average person does. So you've cleaned a lot of bathrooms. You've had a lot of people live with you. I mean, it's like a
34.
34.
Yes, 34 people, I counted them.
And many of those people weren't necessarily your closest friends or that you knew very well.
They were strangers. Some of them were strangers. Some of them were friends of the kids. But yes, we've had a few strangers, and we learned things from all of them.
Right. Some of them were hard. Let's just say that.
Yeah, some of them were very hard. Some of them wouldn't leave.
We'll have to have you come back on the middle and maybe talk through some of those stories. But Mom, thank you. I know that Mother's Day has always been a little bit of a tricky time for you. And I think for most moms, we are very aware of where we fail or where we feel like we don't measure up and we don't celebrate. It's harder to celebrate where we succeed. And so I really appreciate you. I appreciate you being my biggest cheerleader and support. And you're that way with all of your children. I love what you have taught me. I would just add to, other than service, you never give up. And I think that has been a really important thing for me to see when things have been hard in my life. And I just love you. And I hope you feel that today, especially.
I love you too. And I'm very proud of you and the mother and the person that you are. So thank you so much for letting me be on. I love you.
Last question is, if there was one thing, or is there one thing that you hope that your children learned from you?
I would hope that they, even though I'm not the best example, and I know I've probably said things or done things in the past that they might go, but I would hope that they just learned kindness from me and to just be kind to everybody, because it really does no good to be mean to people or to not be kind. Even if maybe in your mind, you might be thinking something else, just being kind to them, because that can go a long way for you. Also, I really have always wanted them to know that I'm here for them no matter what, for anything. And that's a really important thing that I hope I've passed on to them, that they can be that way for someone else too.
Oh, I love that. Thanks. Yeah, I've definitely felt that. Even though, I'm an adult or whatever, I feel like you've still been my mom. I feel like, I don't know, the other day I got these Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie treats. And that's one of my favorite treats that you make. You know that, obviously, because you had Dad deliver them to my house. But that was really awesome. And, I really love the way you answered that, because I feel like you're, the most Christ-like person that I know. So you hoping that your children learn that. I know that I learned that from you. So thank you for being such an awesome mom. And thanks for doing this.
You're welcome.
This call.
It was nice to reflect on things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks again for doing this. And I love you, Mom.
Love you too.
What is one thing you hope your children learned from you?
Oh, I hope that you guys learn to love the gospel, to love the Lord and the Savior, and to just be a good person. Just be successful at whatever you choose, whatever your path is in life, to just be successful. Be a good person. Help others. Love your siblings.
Yeah.
That's a big one too, because I'm not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
You guys got to take care of each other when I'm gone.
And as we said a second ago, we all are super loud and have fun together. And so we do love each other.
We do. And I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
That makes a mom really happy.
Yeah. And as you know, as I was preparing for this episode, I was thinking, I was thinking about the things that you taught me as a mother, and definitely those things that you just said, for sure. I was thinking about how all growing up, you made loaves of bread, which was like the best thing ever. We always loved your bread. And we always had to ask, okay, who's this bread for? It was never for any of us. And if we got lucky, we'd get to have one loaf. And of course, as children, it was like, oh, we never get any of your bread. But now that I'm older, I realize like she was doing what the Lord wants us to do. You were serving our brothers and sisters. You were looking out for others, and you were being like and doing what we're supposed to do. And that taught me to be Christ-like and to just be a kind person. And to me, you are the perfect example of ministering and like a good minister and of Christ-like love and to do everything.
You.
Yeah. And to do what the Lord wants us to be. And so you absolutely taught me how to be like that and how to love the gospel. So
Thank
I
you.
love you,
And
Mom.
I think you are a great example of that as well. All you kids are. I'm so proud of you all.
Oh, thank you. I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here with us. If you liked what you heard, or didn't, but if you did,
only if you did,
give us a thumbs up, or maybe comment.
Down below.
Good with comments, and maybe even subscribe.
You want to.
Yeah. Glad you were here with us.
Thanks for watching, and
Thanks for watching.
we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
You just repeat
Everything.
Yeah.